Welcome back as we get into our second game of the day, which is going to be between Legio, Lepidoptera, Leviathan, and Fancy. First off for Fancy, Team Red, we have the this is Legio Lepidoptera is Team Red. We have the GFA Flying Flounder, Mercury Dual Artemis with a light flak and a Gatling on this mob, Fluffy Moth, Magnate, left side Mercury, Mark II Heavy Flak Artemis, right side, Light Carronade, Banshee Hwacha. For their opponents, Fancy, we have the Floaty Boat of Doom, Lumberjack Hwacha, Artemis Hades on the left, paired with Gatling Light Flak on the right. And their ally, the Alien Dragonfly, Gatling Hwacha, paired with Gatling Hwacha, Red Shrike. And currently looks like both teams inching towards the south half of Derelict. This map is notable in being effectively a long tube of terrain that's split in half, with the top half here more canyon-esque rocks, clouds in the way, and then the south half is kind of this open area through the wreckage. And already seems like Legio Lepidoptera very much kitted out to play this game long range. They have both the sniper module with the Mercury Dual Arts as well as the Magnate, bringing the Lumberjack. I'm sorry, Heavy Flak. My memory is really, I was gonna say not what it used to be, but my memory was never good. So Triple L, red team definitely gonna have the long range advantage in this fight. Alien Dragonfly, exclusively close range. Floaty Boat of Doom has a Lumberjack, but Crusader not going to be able to win in a 1v2 situation. So, assuming blue team wants to use their long range guns at all, Alien Dragonfly is going to have to get into a position where they can actually flank red's position, and then with Legio Lepidoptera, their defensive formation in disarray, then maybe Floaty Boat of Doom could utilize the Lumberjack a little bit on approach. Crusader also, I'm going to switch over to Blue's side. Crusader has, in my opinion, a very poor profile for long-range play, because to really utilize a full trifecta on this ship, you do have to kind of turn, you have to expose your broadside, and when you do that, you become a very long target, and your guns are very exposed. So Crusader, very easy to hit at range. And also doesn't have great movement vectors versus the Mobula, which only has the thin hull profile as well as good up-down movement to dodge incoming shots. So I don't, on a theoretical level, I don't see Crusader being a very good long-range ship. However, here goes Alien Dragonfly. They are spotted, so Fluffy Moth moving to engage. They're switching to their long-range side. This is Banshee already hitting Alien Dragonfly. Flying Flounder looks like going to stay focused on the Floaty Boat of Doom, as Dragonfly does get a balloon pop on the Fluffy Moth. We'll see who they decide to go for now. Seems like they're going to switch to the Flying Flounder. Flounder's balloon is low. Armor's low as well. Gatling going to be able to maybe finish it off in the first volley. Just no, armor staying up. Barely unable to get the armor break with the Gatling, so Hwacha comes out, doesn't really do a whole lot, able to take down the balloon, and the hull finally goes down after the Hwacha finish. So Flying Flounder drifting away. Seems like they're probably going to be safe. They do have Drogue Shoot to halt their descent a little bit. And you see here now, yeah, Alien Dragonfly has the full attention of red team, which means Floaty Boat of Doom gets to fully unload their arsenal on whoever they want, totally uncontested. And despite the fact that both the red ships have turned to fight the Alien Dragonfly, neither one really able to stop them from just running amok on their side of the map. The Shrike's close range mobility proving very difficult for Triple L to deal with, as the Fluffy Moth totally negated by the Lumberjack of the Floaty Boaty. And I think that's, yeah, going to be it. Dragonfly able to pick up the first point with the Hwacha, and Fluffy Moth is just waiting down here to die. I think Alien Dragonfly going to be dropping down and picking up that second point. A little bit unfortunate for Legio Lepidoptera, because they fully switched focus to the alien dragonfly, but were unable to do any damage. So not only did they not kill the dragonfly, but they just gave Floaty Bodie free lumberjack shots on both their ships. So honestly, it probably would have been better just trying to ignore the strike and moving forward to pick up the kill on the Crusader. And GOV Flying Flatter spawned back in. Fluffy Moth still alive. Most guns are down. They've lost about, it looks like, 30% health. As the Floaty Bodie gets a big ram on the Flying Flounder, but Flying Flounder, superior angle, and oh, Crusader, oh, goodbye. Crusader ship not very good at shooting down just because of the way the guns are positioned on the ship. So having the vertical advantage, not much of an advantage on the Crusader compared to some of the other ships. And Alien Dragonfly gonna lose their armor here, trying to moonshine away. You see light flak shots coming in. 50% of Dragonfly's whole health is gone already. And we'll see if they get away. It looks like they're gonna try to extend this engagement, moonshining, but all their guns are down. Next armor break might be it for the Shrike, assuming the burst follow-up is on point. Late flak shots coming in, taking down the armor. Another Artemis connection. And yeah, Dragonfly dying, and dying very late as well. Floaty Boat of Doom has already moved in, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to disengage. Fluffy Moth has taken a little bit of damage, so they have to be careful, but I think this is going to be potentially another point for Triple L. As Floaty Bodie has already lost 2 engines. Despite that, trying to moonshine away. We'll see where the Shrike decides to spawn. I think, are they trying to go for the window? Yeah, they are, but they're just barely unable to make it. You can actually, some of this terrain here is non-clipping, so you can actually go through. I think it's that window. I've heard people refer to it as the secret window, although I think it's pretty common knowledge at this point. But you see the long profile of the Crusader made it very difficult for them to dodge any of that incoming fire. So it's a ship that's not going to be very good at escaping from lost fights, as both blue teams looks like spawning inside the south wreckage of the ship. And red team hopefully realizing that. As you look on the map, you see they've split up to conduct a search party on red's spawn zone. And they're not finding any red ships, so Floaty Boat is spawned. They're taking shots, switching over to their camera. They're taking shots through the window, which is a little bit cute, but honestly not that effective. Or, you know, who knows? Maybe this could be... If they had a point advantage, I think this would be a better strategy. Because this can work. It's a very protected position. But also because if you're taking a strategy where you're poking out, dealing a little bit of damage, then backing up, that type of engagement can be very drawn out, very slow. And because Fancy has a point deficit, this is not the type of strategy you really want to utilize unless you're already winning the game. Because there's kind of burning time. We're already 10 minutes into the match. And you see they've disengaged from the secret window. And moving forward, I will be curious to see, because we've only seen so many matches on this map, how teams decide to utilize. Because again, I mentioned earlier, this is a very unique map, just the way it's split up, and it leads to a lot of tactics that are not common on some of the other maps. A lot of weird positions. As you see, once again, Floaty Bodie has found another hole that they're shooting through, trying to give a little bit of leeway for the alien Dragonfly to approach. As the Dragonfly does get spotted. Flying Flounder's balloon is down, so Dragonfly rises up, switches focus to the Fluffy Moth, which is in 3rd stage of damage. Magnate will die very quickly if the Floaty Boaty, if either of the ships really focus them. But blue team might go for the kill on the Mobula first. Dragonfly taking Hwacha connection, losing their engines, but guns are still up. They're trying to moonshine away. I think I don't know, Flying Flounder might be the first to die here. As Floaty Boaty taking down the balloon and the hull. Not quite able to finish them off. Alien Dragonfly is hydrogened up to try to gain a little bit of time to rebuild their engines. Oh, both these red ships are very low health. The rough position. And oh no, Fluffy Moth actually hitting the Flying Flounder, holding them in place for a moment, allowing the Floaty Boaty to finally get those finishing blows. And this might be another point as well. Fluffy Moth very low, and the fight taking place on red side of the map because Legio Lepidoptera pushed into their opponent's spawn to try to pick up some fast kills. They've now exposed themselves to slow respawns. And I think this is going to be a tie score here in a moment. Yeah, Magnate does go down. I wonder how the Mercury pick on the Flying Flounder seems a little bit iffy for this map. Because this is not a super long range map, bringing the Mercury limits their upwards arcs by a lot. And you saw they're losing their balloon early to the Lumberjack, the Floaty Boaty. When you have a ship that relies on Mercury Artemis, very strong loadout, probably the strongest long range or light weapon based sniping loadout. One of the biggest disadvantages is that you just have terrible upward arcs. So if you're playing against a Lumberjack, you lose your balloon, you drop down a little bit. Like Mercury Artemis do not shoot upwards at all. So once you've lost that altitude, you're pretty much completely negated. You can maybe try to move forward, get into Gatling range. But that can sometimes be pretty difficult. Especially when you're trying to zone out, stay out of the Hwacha arcs of an alien Dragonfly. As now blue team up on approach. The Legio Lepidoptera spawn. Fancy. The Shrike moving in low. Under the clouds. Currently unspotted. And seems like first target going to be the Fluffy Moth. Ooh, actually good split focus here. Hwacha taking down 2 guns of the Flying Flounder while the Gatling hits the Fluffy Moth. Right side Hwacha, let's see, right side Hwacha may be disabled. Not quite prepared to deal with that armor break on the Magnate as Floaty Boaty engages long range guns. Alien Dragonfly taking a lot of damage here from the Flying Flounder. Next armor break will be death for the Shrike, so they're desperately trying to moonshine underneath the Flying Flounder. Dragonfly's guns are down, but engines are still fine, so they can try to dodge. But they're on the Gatling side of the Mobula, so they have to be very careful. And Lumberjack taking down the balloon of the Flying Flounder, so as I was saying, they drop down to Artemis, unable to follow up on the Dragonfly, so Dragonfly gets to fly around to fly away to safety. Very close call for the Shrike. And here they go, moving in for the next wave. The next wave of fire. Dual focus with the Floaty Boaty. Oh, and this is a bad position for Flying Flounder. They're going to hit the terrain. Dragonfly going for a ram. Hwacha coming out, hitting exposed hull. And now, match point for Fancy. All Alien Dragonfly needs to do is stay alive, but they're taking Incendiary Carronade. They're moving away. They're flying away. Hydrogen Moonshine, trying to disengage from the Fluffy Moth. And I think that was the window for Fluffy Moth to be able to get that kill. Now they have no hull, no balloon. I think that's going to be it. Fancy able to win this game. Kind of a tight scrap, but finally able able to take it here. Crusader, turns out, worked all right in this match. The strategy of using the alien dragonfly to as a distraction, set the floaty boaty can fully utilize their arsenal